Welcome back, folks. I want to give you an update on my seed sprouting. So a few days ago, I started germinating some seed starts so I can get this spring garden ready to roll, y'all. So far, I have a few little seeds that have decided to germinate and have poked their little heads above the soil. Look at here, y'all. So I've got thyme. In this one, I have some rosemary and stevia, but the stevia has not made an appearance yet. But there's the rosemary starting to show itself. Oh, I'm so excited, y'all. And then over here, we have some cilantro. And man, look at there. All right. And as many of you guys remember, the cilantro required cold stratification. So sometimes it is pretty difficult to get the cilantro to germinate, but hey, it did the dang thing, and so did the rosemary. So over here, I have a few of my flowers, but I just started those a few days ago, and parsley, it still has not done anything, and neither has the oregano. But let me show you my onions. And y'all know how I am, y'all. Y'all know I like them bougie flower pots. Yes, sir. So look at here, y'all. That's my Walla Walla onions. And then over here, I've got some red burgundy onions. And yes, they are starting to germinate also. In the back over here, again, y'all see my little bougie flower pots. I got these little teeny tiny shot cups that I got from the $1.25 tree. Ha! Yeah, nothing happened over there because I just put them bad boys in the dirt today. So let me show you guys something on these onions. Hopefully you guys can see, but if you look closely, you can see how the onions, as they germinate, they start off looking like little tiny splinters poking up out of the ground or out of the soil. And you see they kind of curve as they come up. As they grow more, they will start to release that curve and become more upright, okay? Two things I want to show you in here. For one is, I have a straggler. So if you can see this little, I don't know what that is right there in the center, that is not an onion. So I'm going to be plucking that bad boy out of here because I don't know what that is. The second thing is, there is a fuzzy wuzzy right there sort of in the middle. And that little fuzzy is what we call damping off. And so what has happened is my soil was probably too wet. And I'm going to say it was too wet. And fungus has started to grow. So again, you see that little fuzzy bud right there. And there's another one or two of these little fuzzy wuzzies, okay? Now, how to take care of that little problem? Well, when you look at my makeshift greenhouse here, you're going to see a couple of things. One is a spray bottle of water, and also a spray bottle of peroxide and water mix, okay? And so the purpose of this is to treat the damping off. So when you get that fungus growth, the peroxide will allow oxygen to get into the soil and will destroy the fungus that is growing. Another thing too is you want to make sure you got a fan, okay? Because the fan will circulate the air and will also help to keep your seedlings reasonably dry, but it also helps to strengthen the stem or the stalk of these seedlings as they grow, okay? So once these get a little bit taller, and actually I'm probably going to wait until all of them have grown nice and tall, so you can see the cilantro as it's growing. But once that gets taller and the rest of these germinate and start to get taller and lengthen, you turn on the fan on a low setting. I don't point it directly at them because I'm not trying to blow the soil out of the little pots, but you want to just allow air to circulate because that will again help to strengthen the stem and the stalk of your plants. It's really, really good, especially for tomato plants. All right, so let's see if I can get this where you can see. All right, so when you have seedlings, first of all, never, ever, ever, ever water them from the top. The good thing I like about this, and you see I have a bowl in the bottom, that's where I water, okay? All of these bowls, I don't know if you can see, have holes in the bottom of them, and they will absorb the moisture as you water these, okay? These other containers that I have here, I can just grab these bad boys and lift them out, okay? And again, that's where you water it, through the bottom. You never ever water these bad boys from the top. Now, as you see on the cilantro here, not every one of these cells has a cilantro. Oh, sorry about that. Not every one of these cells has a cilantro that has germinated, okay? So, if this becomes dry, all I'm going to turn around and do is take my water, okay? And the ones that are dry, I give a little water, okay? But when you're dealing with the ones that have the plants that are already starting to develop, absolutely do not water these from the top, because you'll cause it to spray any fungus that may be on the soil, will be sprayed up on these little teeny tiny babies that are trying to grow, and that will contaminate them, and that fungus will destroy your baby seedlings in here, okay? So just make sure that if you need to water these, that you do this from the bottom. And another thing too is, let me show you this real quick. On this particular one, the top of the soil is dry. That's dry as a bone, y'all, okay? But when you look at it from underneath, and I hope you guys can see, there is some moisture inside these little pots, okay? But still, it just feels so dry. So I may still add a little bit of water to the bottom, and just to give it a little bit of a drink, okay? All right, so back to this area where you've got the damping off, okay? So again, I've got the peroxide and water, and I'm just going to spritz it. All right, give me just a second. Let me get this all moved so you can see, and I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so we're back on this onion here, and let me see if I can find that little fuzzy wuzzy. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger here. And see if I can zoom in right there. There's one, okay? And I think there was 2 or 3 more in here somewhere. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my peroxide and water mix. Now, on the peroxide and water, when you're making this, I don't really measure, but you can. I just put 1 to 2 teaspoons to about 1 cup of water, okay? And like I said, this is just a little squirt bottle. We're just going to give it a little mist or two. Get that good and wet in the areas where you may have some fungal growth. I'm just going to kind of spray the whole thing. And I've also seen in other videos that you can also sprinkle some cinnamon on the surface of your, of your soil, and that may also help to prevent damping off. But the peroxide and water is just what I use. It works for me. That way I can see, ooh, wrong way, y'all. That way I can see where the problem is, okay? Well, listen, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope you got something out of it. Thank you guys for watching, and I tell you what, y'all, I'm hoping in the next few days we're going to have some more progress. Get some more of these little bad boys growing, and pretty soon we're going to be planting, y'all. I can't wait. Woo! I am a spring girl, so the faster it gets here, the happier I will be. Y'all have a good night. Bye!